Imagine it's late on a Tuesday. You open the cabinet under your kitchen sink, finding a cracked pipe with water spraying everywhere in the dark. Most people fall into one of two groups here. You either shut off the main valve and call a plumber, or you grab a flashlight and a wrench to figure out where the system failed. We usually write off that second group as having a genetic gift for tools, as if they were born with an intuitive understanding of plumbing the rest of us lack. Psychologists have identified 6 specific traits and problem-solving habits that define this ability, turning what looks like an innate talent into a repeatable mental framework. We can map exactly how this fixer's brain works by following a real-world repair, from the initial mess to the final assembly. Any repair starts with disassembly. For many, staring at a pile of gears and springs from a disassembled clock creates massive visual overload. The brain sees the chaos and immediately triggers a panic signal to walk away. Fixers lean on a trait Albert Bandura called tolerance for ambiguity. They acknowledge the panic signal, but replace that anxiety with a focused curiosity about how the individual pieces might interact. This transitions into systems thinking. Instead of seeing a dead object, the fixer sees a web of nodes representing energy and mechanics. You stop trying to fix the object and trace the network's logic until you find the link that flashes red. By refusing to let the initial mess trigger a retreat, the brain gains time to map the system and find the actual root of failure. Phase 2 is the wall. It's that point 10 minutes in where the first attempt fails, your hands are dirty, and the urge to quit becomes an aggressive internal pull. This graph shows the difference in frustration tolerance. While most people's stress levels spike quickly into the red, fixers have developed a sustained tolerance, the capacity to sit with the extreme discomfort of not knowing the answer yet. This persistence requires setting aside the ego. As Carol Dweck's research on the growth mindset suggests, the fear of appearing stupid is often a greater obstacle than the mechanical problem itself. A true fixer prioritizes the repair over their pride. They'll watch a basic tutorial, read a manual cover to cover, because the goal is working machinery. Getting past this emotional wall is rarely a test of mechanical skill. It's a test of how much frustration and humility a person can handle before they give up. Finally, we reach assembly. We've all seen master craftsmen who identify a problem just by hearing a machine's hum, appearing to have an almost psychic connection to the hardware. This is actually pattern memory. As shown in this sorting animation, the brain is constantly comparing current sensory data against a massive internal database of past failures and successes, instantly filtering until it finds a match. This connection isn't just data-driven, it's physical. Experts like Richard Sennett and Viktor Frankl emphasize the importance of how the hands actually teach the brain. There is psychological weight in tactile feedback. When a joint clicks into place, the hands send physical confirmation of success directly to the nervous system. Each successful adjustment builds a sense of practical competence. Instead of feeling dependent on outside experts, the fixer gains a first-hand understanding of how their immediate environment actually functions. Every repair, even those taking all night, adds a new pattern to the database and builds physical confidence for the next challenge. You might still hear that inner voice saying you aren't built for this, or that you'll only make the problem worse if you touch it. That's often the result of learned helplessness. Childhood experiences, like being scolded for breaking a toy, can condition the brain to see the physical world as something fragile and dangerous that should only be handled by others. True mastery is simply a byproduct of high-volume failure. We often imagine craftsmen as people with flawless execution, but their skill is actually a record of every tool and part they've ever broken. Over time, these mistakes remove the paralyzing fear of the broken state. A master is someone who has simply run out of ways to be surprised by a mechanical failure. The next time something breaks, try to push past the initial instinct to call for help. Tolerate the mess, look for the system, and see if you can find the logic hidden inside the machine.